Minecraft is an enormous and expansive game built on surprisingly simple mechanics, but with the lack of tutorials, it can be confusing for many newcomers. Follow me, William Strife, as I cover the basics to the advanced of crafting, surviving, and building. Welcome to the Minecraft Guide. In the first episode of the Minecraft Guide, the basics of the basics were covered for what to do during your first day in Minecraft. However, while the needs of survival are always the same, what the world you spawn into looks like can vary greatly. Any Minecraft world will have a very diverse landscape, with a multitude of biomes that will generate. These biomes include plains, mountains, deserts, forests, swamps, savannas, mesa, jungle, taiga, mushroom, and ocean. That's not the full list either. Even though there are more biomes in the game, the remainder are mostly technical, and examples of how the game tries to gradually transition between climates. Additionally, all biomes in the game are influenced by the way mountain and plains biomes are generated, meaning, for instance, a swamp can be on a mountain, or a desert can be shaped with rolling hills instead of being flat. This variation allows for locales that are traditionally very flat, like deserts and swamps, to have a lot of height and vertical variation. There are also several types of forests in the game. The standard forest is populated with oak and birch trees, but there also exists a birch-only variant. Another forest type is the jungle biome, which is thick with undergrowth, extra tall trees, and the occasional lost temple filled with traps and loot. Then there's the roofed forest, which consists of thick, stubby, dark oak trees and giant mushrooms. Another forest type is the taiga, which is a grassy, cold biome that is mostly populated with tall spruce trees, and it also comes in a snowy variation where everything is covered in white powder. There's also the mega taiga biome, which is sometimes called a redwood forest. This woodland is covered in super tall and thick spruce trees. There are boulders strewn about made of rare, mossy cobblestone, and the ground is covered with a special leafy dirt called podzol. That about sums up all the forests in the game, but before moving on, there's flowers. A special version of the standard forest is the flower forest, which is colorfully oversaturated with flora of all type that can be found in the game. Meanwhile, there are some instances of the normal plains biome covered in a sea of sunflowers, a petaled plant that always faces east. Moving on, the other type of biome that greatly varies is the plains biome, which intersects with other types of biomes for varied effects. First, though, is a biome that is a strange intersection of plains and forest, savanna. The savanna biome is populated with unique leaning Arcadia trees. It's steady and flat like a plains biome, but it also never gets any precipitation or rain like a desert biome. Other, more natural variations of the plains biome include ice plains or tundra. As the name suggests, the tundra biome is a vast area of snow and ice with little to no vegetation, making it a less than optimal location to call home. An extension of the tundra is the ice plains with spikes. The ice spikes biome is dotted with spires of packed ice, which resemble trees. The packed ice has no real use beyond being a special building material, though, and it can't be harvested by any normal means. That's about everything for the plains biome and its unique instances, but there's still a few more landscapes to cover. The remaining biomes begin with Swampland, which is fairly common, but can be difficult to traverse, as wading through water is never a quick activity. Next is the desert biome, which comes complete with cacti, no water, dead shrubs, and occasionally a special temple filled with both deadly traps and random loot. The two final biomes are fairly rare, mesa and mushroom. Mesa biomes are composed of hardened and stained clay, as well as red sand. The red sand is no different from normal sand aside from its color, making it little more than a normal block with a unique twist. However, hardened clay is a useful building material because, while it can be crafted, doing so isn't quick or simple, making existing hard clay fairly valuable. Additionally, it can be combined with dyes to create a multitude of colors for building purposes, meaning it's just about an architect's best friend. If this perks your interest and you want to know more about dyeing clay, don't worry, there's an entire separate guide on the subject of dyes. Anyway, that's the gist of the mesa biome. The other rare biome is mushroom, which will always generate near water and commonly be an island unto itself. Mushroom biomes are particularly unique for several reasons. First of all, grass blocks are replaced entirely with a fungal-like growth called mycelium. Second, mushrooms can grow directly in sunlight, which isn't possible under normal circumstances. Normally, mushrooms can only grow in low light levels, like beneath trees or in a cave. Third is a special passive mob native to the mushroom biome, the mooshroom. Mooshrooms are particularly useful animals because, by right-clicking its udder with a wooden bowl, mushroom stew can be obtained. This means that, unlike other animals, mooshrooms can supply an infinite amount of food, unlike normal cows, which must be bred and butchered for food. Now, the final unique feature to the mushroom biome is how, both on the surface and underground, hostile mobs won't spawn in it. Obviously, this means it's largely safe to work at any hour, day or night, when living in the fungal domain. In a broad sense, that's all the possible biomes in the game, some of their nuances, and how there's a bit of overlap between them. However, there's an extra extraneous feature that pertains to biomes: trading, non-player characters, and the villages they live in. Across all of Minecraft, there are 3 biomes where villages will spawn: plains, savanna, and desert. These hamlets are the only locations where villagers or NPCs will be found, and the size of these towns can vary greatly. If the settlement is large enough, it may also be defended by an iron golem. If a town contains no less than 10 villagers and 20 houses with wooden doors, there's a chance a golem will naturally spawn to protect them. Additionally, iron golems can be built by placing 4 iron blocks in a T-shape and a pumpkin on top. Now, the reason villagers are worth an iron golem, especially if you make one for them yourself, which is by no means cheap to do, is because they function as traders or merchants. There are a variety of villagers or testificates that can spawn, including farmers, butchers, smiths, librarians, and priests. Each different type of testificate offers different types of trade deals, such as a butcher offering raw meat or librarians trading books and paper. What they want in trade for their goods are emeralds, a particularly rare gem that can only be mined in very limited quantity from modest heights in mountainous regions. Because emeralds are rare and villagers use them as currency, buying supplies off of testificates has very limited value. However, villagers will also pay in emeralds for certain supplies. The deals they offer are random though, and what they will buy in trade changes periodically. The reason jumping through all these hoops can be worth the time is because emeralds, when crafted into blocks, serve one other purpose beyond currency. They can be used to build a pyramid, of which a beacon can be placed atop. A beacon is a very powerful endgame block, and its purpose is covered fully in a later video. For now though, keep in mind that emeralds, having little practical use, are some of the best items to use in combination with a beacon. That, and who doesn't want more money? The worlds in Minecraft are like an incredible canvas, and with all the biomes and possible landscapes that can generate, it means that starting over never means starting with nothing. The journey across blocky vistas has only just begun though, so stay tuned, because next time, staying alive and not starving is the subject of focus. Until next time, I'm Strife of the Yogscast, and a Minecraft expert. I'll see you later.